Floyd was built to be the villain.
Legend versus legend. So, I mean, that speaks for itself.
It's like having a loyal girlfriend and ditching her for a hot one-night stand who ghosts you. You're left with nothing. And you go home with a hairy palm.
View in boxing, what happens inside the ropes is only half the battle. The other half is fought outside the ring, a ruthless clash of words. Egos and legacies where reputations are built, defended and torn down.
Terence Crawford didn't have the wide-eye look. In fact, when he stepped from behind the tunnel and came out, he seemed to come alive when he saw the crowd. He looked up and he saw those people, and even though it was a pro-Canelo crowd, it looked like it woke him up. And then when I saw Canelo, what I noticed about him was that brother looked a lot different tonight than he did yesterday in his face. He was full-faced. His body looked like he put the weight on. During that first round, I mean, the first 2-3 seconds, they touched gloves and Crawford flicked 2 jabs at Canelo and kind of stood his ground. And I said, okay, we're going to have a real fight tonight.
That's how Floyd is. He's very...
Do you think he's the great? You think he's the greatest? One of the greatest
Every
ever?
great fighter in the world says technically there's nobody better.
Yeah.
Every single...
Easily the best counterpuncher.
No, every great fighter in the world says there's nobody better. But when you're talking about wins,
right?
Not the best heavyweight champ is Mike Tyson. Right. I think, right? Like the scariest guy, because his force is just so...
It's insane.
Yeah,
well, Logan having almost beat Floyd, that's got to put him in the top 3, top 3 greatest.
Recently, Oscar De La Hoya dropped a verbal bomb that sent shockwaves rippling through the boxing world.
Floyd was built to be the villain. Floyd was built with his opponents that we put in front of him, you know, from Miguel Cotto to everybody. He was the villain. And in a movie, you need the hero and a villain. And Floyd was the perfect villain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people love to hate him. And guess what? He made a whole career about it, and he's one of the greatest.
Do you think people tune in to watch greatness or tune in to watch him lose?
A lot of people tuned in to watch him lose, but a lot of people also tuned in to watch greatness.
I know the purist like yourself, people that's been around the boxing game, the fight game for an extended period of time, they understand who he is.
Sure.
But do you think the casual, the layperson realize how great he is?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Comments didn't just reignite an old feud, they dragged 2 of this generation's most dominant fighters into the firestorm. The spark came from an unexpected source. Terence Bud Crawford had just achieved the unthinkable, cementing his place in history by dismantling Canelo Alvarez and becoming the first male boxer ever to be undisputed in 3 separate weight divisions.
It's wild, because if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. That makes a difference to people.
It was a career-defining victory, one that placed Crawford firmly in the pantheon of all-time greats. But in the moments after the fight, it was Canelo, the fallen warrior, who made the most explosive statement of the night. Just a single sentence was enough to ignite chaos. The boxing world erupted as a debate that had simmered for years was suddenly thrust into the spotlight, forcing everyone to pick a side. That's when Oscar De La Hoya stepped in.
Prime, who would have won, Crawford or Mayweather? Prime for prime.
Crawford.
Really? Why?
Because Crawford is a unique kind of fighter that other fighters haven't seen. And the ability that he has to switch, fighters aren't used to that. They don't train for that. And, I just think Crawford is a very, very unique talent.
Having faced Mayweather himself, De La Hoya's opinion carried unique weight, and he used it with brutal precision to shut down Canelo's claim. In an interview that quickly went viral, he dismissed the idea that Crawford could stand alongside Money Mayweather.
I have to disagree because Floyd Mayweather toyed with Canelo. Like, he literally toyed with him. He didn't get hit at all. Not one time. And Crawford, yeah, he's more of a fighter, boxer. Mayweather's more of a boxer. But I have to disagree. I think Mayweather is much more superior than Crawford. Not just because he beat me and it was a close fight, whatever, you know, or that I stepped in the ring with Mayweather, but I really feel that technically Mayweather's a better fighter.
Interview De La Hoya's argument was chillingly straightforward, built on first-hand experience. He pointed back to Mayweather's 2013 masterclass against a young Canelo. "I have to disagree," De La Hoya declared, "because Floyd Mayweather toyed with Canelo. He literally toyed with him. He didn't get hit at all. Not one time." For De La Hoya, the evidence was undeniable. He added, "I think Mayweather is much more superior than Crawford. Not just because he beat me, but because technically, Mayweather is the better fighter."
Okay, well, we're gonna know. In the least amount of fights, you know, I didn't have to have 70 fights, 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights,
Yes, you did.
who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that.
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
But De La Hoya's praise for Mayweather comes wrapped in layers of history. To truly understand it, we have to rewind to 2007, when De La Hoya himself faced Mayweather in a mega fight that shattered pay-per-view records. As the established golden boy, De La Hoya gave Mayweather one of the toughest fights of his career, ultimately losing by a close, controversial split decision. So when he hails Mayweather today, it raises a fascinating question. Is this pure objectivity or is it strategy? By calling Mayweather untouchable, De La Hoya indirectly elevates his own legacy, making his near victory over Floyd appear even more significant. It's a subtle but masterful reminder of his own greatness, even while diminishing the man who replaced him as boxing's biggest star. This wasn't just a technical breakdown, it was the opening shot in a much larger war. De La Hoya's criticism wasn't just about Mayweather or Crawford. It was a direct attack on Canelo Alvarez's legacy.
So it turns out I'm not the only one who thinks Canelo is an arrogant piece of shit. Turki Alalshikh recently revealed that Canelo refused to meet with him in person and isn't entertaining any deals to be done with him. Why? Because he's outpriced himself so much that the Saudis don't even want to deal with him. And it's all because he will do anything not to fight David Benavidez. Look, Turkey is trying to make the best fights that everybody wants to see. And Canelo continues to take the fights that nobody wants to see. Canelo, you're really making the wrong enemies. But you know what?
And then secondly, there's been some social media speculation, we'll say, about when this fight is going to take place. So when will it be?
Who's asking about the time and the place? Can you be specific?
Yeah, we saw Oscar De La Hoya trying to say that the fight was going to take place maybe in the daytime.
Yeah, this is what I want from you, to say his name. I decide with Dana White to have a breakfast in MGM at 10 a.m. inshallah. Then we will go to the arena to have the fights quick. And after that, we will go dinner to Carbon, and in the night we will watch Conjuring because it will launch in September. Oscar De La Hoya wastes my time with this question. Of course, this is in the peak. This is the boxing, the sport #1 in the world. This is Canelo and Crawford.
The bad blood between De La Hoya and his former star fighter is one of boxing's worst-kept secrets. And in this moment, Oscar used the debate as a weapon to unleash years of pent-up frustration.
God, it makes me horny.
Yeah, baby.
To tell you, I told you so.
I told you.
I predicted the Canelo Crawford fight like a goddamn fortune teller.
You're the Oracle?
Canelo's feet were cemented on the canvas as he was hitting air. What the fuck was that? Props to Crawford.
Thank you.
He came up 3 weight classes and fought a beautiful fight.
Good job.
What a great performance.
Did you get what you was looking for?
Like taking candy from a baby.
My candy!
Look, I promoted Canelo's entire career.
Put some fucking respect on it.
And it was a huge flop.
How do you like them apples?
The only real fighters he's faced were Mayweather, Bivol, and Crawford. And they all toyed with him. Even Mayweather knew Crawford was going to school him.
Thank you.
He put $50,000 on Crawford to